What it do, cuckolds? It's your boy, the Hater. Hater Outdoors! Sorry that the review is late, but I had to do a video of Vince McMahon, so sue me. But now it's time for the Smackdown review. Now, this is one of those episodes where I could see a lot of people enjoying it. The Hater, however, did not enjoy it, likely for the same reasons as I haven't been enjoying wrestling for fucking weeks, if not months, if not years now. So, first of all, we are welcomed by Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore in our first segment because, as you all know, we go through the shows segment by segment. Now, Joe and Wade are on SmackDown because SmackDown is back to being the B Show. This is the B team, so they're here on the B Show. It's as simple as that. Then we get a recap of Roman Reigns winning, and Heyman comes out and asks Roddy Chodes to come out, and they shake hands for some weird reason. I'm not exactly sure why they're happy with each other, but basically Heyman puts over Cody Rhodes, and he says that Cody Rhodes has earned the respect of Roman Reigns. I don't know why this is being said now. When they tag team together, Roman Reigns basically, his entire demeanor was like, I don't respect you. But now I guess he has. Like, since The Rock came back, everyone now, like, all of a sudden respects Cody Rhodes, which really bolsters the claim that Kevin Owens has made and that he will make later on tonight. Basically, Heyman says that Roman Reigns is going to enter the Royal Rumble. I don't know why Roman Reigns couldn't be bothered to be here, but this is actually relevant because Kevin Owens comes out and starts speaking truths from the crowd. This prompts Cody to go after Kevin Owens. At this point, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga appear behind Heyman to beat his ass. Jimmy Uso comes to save the day. He gets thoroughly dealt with almost immediately. Eventually, Cody Rhodes comes and fights off the new Bloodline, if we can even call them that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Not a good segment. It took like 20 minutes, but that's what we have. Then we go to commercial. After commercial, we're in the back. Security is arguing with Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, who are mad. I'm not sure why, but they're mad, as they always are. LA Knight comes out and just throws Jacob's fat ass out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This leads us to the next segment, which is Michin versus Chelsea Green for the Women's United States title. I will say it's good that they're featuring the title prominently and weekly. So that, you can't really be mad at that, right? It is what it is. During the match, Michin does a twerk and then an ass attack. Piper is dressed like one of those lesbian fire chiefs that are making the rounds on the internet after the California wildfires. Please stay safe, cuckolds. Chelsea eventually counters a crossbody into a pin and wins. Michin tries to attack her after the match for no reason. I don't understand this logic of like the good guys being upset that they lose and then attacking after the match. But then Piper takes her out. So that's that. Classic wrestling segment. I can't hate it, you know what I mean? Now it's time for Los Garza. Now that SmackDown is 3 hours, maybe people like Los Garza, who aren't good enough for 2 hours, can finally be on SmackDown again. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? That remains to be seen. Based on this match, I consider it to be a bad thing, cuckolds. It's going to be Los Garza versus Pretty Deadly, the winner of which will face the winner of another tag team match to determine their number one contenders. So basically, Los Garza and Pretty Deadly have a match. Nothing really special here. Los Garza hit their finishing move, which is kind of weird for them. Humberto Carrillo just looks like shit. He has like oil all over him, but he's a little chubby now. And then it's just, every time I see this guy, I can't help but think of Michael Cole telling us, oh, this guy reminds you of Eddie Guerrero. No, he doesn't. You know what I mean? But that happened. They win a match, finally. It is what it is. Then we've got LA Knight versus Nakamura. This was a pretty good match, all things considered. There were a few botches here and there, but LA Knight did a lot of cool moves. He did like essentially, it's called a Billy Goat's Curse, like an inverted Walls of Jericho, which I thought was nice, you know what I mean? It's always good seeing wrestlers that have cool moves, like LA Knight, doing other cool moves. The match ends after LA Knight hits the BFT. He goes for the pin. Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, who were just kicked out, somehow made it back in and interfered and cost LA Knight the match. I'm cool with this. LA Knight doesn't need the U.S. title. I'd rather him be in a feud that has some kind of like caliber and that will be on TV. So it is what it is. The match was pretty good. I can't be mad at it, right? Then we've got Motor City Machine Guns, and they win their match with the Skull and Bones. I almost forget now who the hell it is that they wrestled. You know what I mean? Who do they wrestle? Now, A-Town Down Under, that's right. A-Town Down Under, earlier in the night, threatens like Aldis with going to Raw. Like they're this like, you know, hot ticket item. Like they're complete jobbers, you know, like nobody would possibly want them on their roster if kayfabe was to be believed in any capacity. You know what I'm saying? Then after this, we go to a segment backstage. Pretty Deadly are upset at DIY. DIY pretty much lied to them. They're like, oh, yeah, you know, we'll get you back sometime, you know, whatever, right? Basically, they're being used by DIY. I don't know what the point of this is. I don't know where this is going to lead to. Maybe it leads to Pretty Deadly becoming the tag team champions, but I don't really care because the SmackDown tag team titles, as well as the Raw tag team titles, are completely meaningless. Nobody could possibly give a rat's ass about anything that's happening here. Motor City Machine Guns are boring. They're just like, I mean, I don't want to like say it's because they're old, but that's part of it, right? It's like they're not exciting anymore. You know, we've seen them do all their moves hundreds of times. So it's like, you know, we're just seeing it again now on SmackDown, and it's not interesting. Like when they were doing these moves and we hadn't seen the kind of stuff they were able to do against, like, I don't know, Beer Money back in the day, that was interesting, right? It was like, oh, they're so cool. But now it's like, it's the same thing. They haven't innovated anything else. They have the same moves, and now they're just older, more boring, in far less prestigious, like, feuds, you know? And therefore, nobody could possibly give a rat's ass. After this, Tiffany Stratton comes out and cuts a terrible-ass promo. Basically, she says this was her plan all along. With Shakespearean writing like this, I mean, who can argue with her, you know? This was complete garbage, a complete disaster. Nia Jax comes out and basically says, I'm going to get you back, or just give me the title now. This prompts Bayley to come out, and then eventually Naomi comes out with Bianca Belair. Everyone starts fighting. All this comes out, makes a fatal four-way match to see who will be the number one contender. Throughout this segment, Wade Barrett keeps saying, like, oh, this is like the entirety of the female locker room. Well, the entirety of it is 4 people, 5 people, you know? I don't really like that at all. It really just goes to show how shitty women's wrestling is, because he's not totally wrong. It's basically these 4 girls, and then you have, like, Michin and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. That's the entire, like, you know, practical roster that they have here. I don't even know how they're going to get 30 women for the Women's Royal Rumble. They're going to have to bring back, like, Beth Phoenix and, like, you know, Michelle McCool, like, every year, you know? Whatever. That's how that went down. It wasn't anything simple. It wasn't anything fun. Nobody cares at all. Tiffany Stratton, people do like her. She just looks weird to me. She's built like a man. I don't know how to explain it. Like, she has like a box body. It's very weird, and a very, very strange face. You know, all that plastic surgery is not a good idea, guys. Basically, the match starts, the match ends, nobody cares. Bayley wins with a rose plant on Naomi, right? Let's just get it over with. Make Bayley the champion. Have her feud with Bianca. Have Jade win the Royal Rumble and go from there. Whatever, right? Then we have Cookie Rhodes and Jimmy Uso talking in the back, right? Melo makes an appearance and does nothing, right? Which is basically Melo's role now. He's in an Apollo Crews type role where he just appears in random ass backstage segments, and that's pretty much why he's employed. Remember when everyone said that Melo was going to be this massive star, and I said this guy's not going to make it for obvious reasons? Once again, I was right. Speaking of Melo, we also have Trick Williams, who lost his title to Obafemi. Obafemi is going to have a Baron Corbin level career, and Trick Williams is not going to have any kind of special career either. He's going to be in the main roster probably after WrestleMania, and he's going to do fuck all. He's going to have like another Melo level, you know, run, right? Like there's nothing there, in my opinion. Nobody in NXT is capable of becoming a star. It is what it is. The Rock can go there and put them over all he wants. It doesn't matter at all. But anyways, that's how that goes down. Eventually, this leads us to the main event. The main event is going to be Cookie Rhodes and Jimmy Uso versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga in a meaningless throwaway tag team title match. Noteworthy here is the fact that Solo Sikoa is missing. Now, it is what it is, right? Like, I get it. When you lose a big match in today's WWE, you just don't show up, you know? That's just how things happen. However, this is inexcusable if you ask me, right? Solo Sikoa needs to show up to establish what the hell he's going to do next. You know, why are Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga hanging out with each other still? You know, the presumption is that Roman Reigns is now the tribal chief. This doesn't mean that Solo Sikoa can continue using his faction. Otherwise, what was the point? Was it literally only about the Ula Fala, which you can buy on Etsy for like $5.99? That's what the match was about? The implications are that if Roman Reigns is the original and only tribal chief, this means Solo Sikoa is no longer the tribal chief, meaning he cannot have a tribe to lead. Yet, his tribe appears without him. So it's just another week of time wasting, you know? Eventually, Solo Sikoa is going to come back, and what's he going to do? He's going to cut the same promo he always cuts, but now he can't even say acknowledge me. I mean, he might as well at this point, right? Nothing has changed at all for Solo Sikoa. So it is what it is. And you can see how, like, I'm pretty much done with this video in its entirety, and we're only at 11 minutes. You know what I mean? This isn't even going to be like a long review because it was such a bad show. You know, some of the matches were good, but the overall flow of the show was terrible, right? Nobody came and nobody did anything. But I will say this. In this show, Cookie Rhodes wrestled, so let's talk about that. It's Cookie Rhodes and Jimmy Uso, like I said, versus the lackeys of Solo Sikoa. Now, let's keep in mind that despite the fact that Cody Rhodes has been treated like a mid-carder for several months now, he is still the WWE champion. So with that being said, you should expect Cookie Rhodes to go through someone like Tama Tonga in a matter of seconds, right? You should expect Cookie Rhodes to go through Jacob Fatu in a matter of seconds. Yet none of this happens. We have a competitive, long-ass match. Now, during this match, nothing really happens of any value. Jimmy Uso basically now wrestles like Jey Uso. I mean, he always has, but now he does the spear too. So basically, you might as well have Cookie and Jey Uso. Same shit, right? They wrestle some more. You know, eventually, the match culminates with Cookie Owens coming back. Cookie Owens is back. They never explain where he went, but whatever, he's back. Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes abandons the match completely. He just goes after Kevin Owens. And like he abandons the match, so does everybody else. Nobody could possibly care about this match now that Cookie Rhodes is gone, because it's just two Samoans and one Tongan wrestling for no reason. You know what I mean? But basically, Jimmy Uso does the spear on Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga eventually gets tagged out. Jacob Fatu goes in there, beats the hell out of Jimmy Uso, hits the Impaler DDT, which looks atrocious, then does Tiffany Stratton's moonsault and pins Jimmy Uso. And immediately, we move on to the brawl that's still going on between Cookie Owens and Cookie Rhodes. So basically, the brawl is just like your average, you know, brawl by the ramp kind of thing. And they both go through tables, and that's it, right? This is just literally filler to put us over until the Royal Rumble, which is the next time we're going to see anything of value. You know what I mean? At this point, it's like Roman Reigns doesn't even want to show up. Like, it's to the point now where the stars, like Roman Reigns, are going to straight up just say, like, I'll see you in a month. You know? Paul Heyman's like, when can I book you next time, Tribal Chief? When the answer should be, he should be there next week immediately. You know, or not even next week. He should be there today on Smackdown. And he's like, January 27th, which is like in a month. You know what I mean? Whatever. It is what it is. This is just a new status quo. This episode is a 0 out of 10. Raw. I look forward to Raw on Netflix this Monday to see how shitty that's going to be. I suspect it's going to be extremely shitty, but we'll see how that goes, cuckwads. And with all this being said, the hater has nothing more to say about this episode of Smackdown because it was a colossal disappointment that nobody could have possibly enjoyed. So take care of yourselves and go fuck your mothers, cuckolds!